It's time to expose the corruption in our monetary system, which is the greatest evil the world has ever seen. The time has come for the world to unite by any means to eradicate this crime once and for all. The true goals of the ruling Kabbalah are much more disturbing ominously than most people or psychopaths can imagine. The world is ruled by a relatively small group of satanic narcissistic psychopaths organized according to Masonic sectarian ideology who have unlimited influence and resources at their disposal. These people have no compassion. They pursue their goals based on unfounded logic full of lies. Their plans lead us straight into the swamp. The ancestry of the Archons with the matrix of Anunnaki governance and reptile fighting is nowhere in the written history of the art of making money from anything more developed than in the ancient Khazar Empire, which developed from nomadic robber clans operating on the western caravan routes in the Caucasus Mountains north of Iraq between the Black and Caspian Seas regions. By the 10th century, the Khazars had created an empire extending to the north from the Black Sea to the Ural Mountains and westward from the Caspian Sea to the Dnieper. Only Christians and Muslims believed that charging interest on a loan, which was then called usury, was a sin, but Jews could openly charge interest on loans whether they did this for practical reasons or out of sincere religiosity. The Khazar aristocrats declared their conversion to Judaism, among them the Rothschilds, who ruled Europe financially for more than a century and continue to do so, dominating the global financial system. They are the financial patrons of the Rockefellers and other rich families of the Archons. It is important to note that neither one of these converted Khazars had nothing to do with Jews. However, they claim to be Zionist Jews. Moreover, the phenomenon is Zionists, and Zionists are not the Rothschild Jews. Bankers plan to take over our civilization and wipe out up to 90% of the population from the face of the earth through a variety of covert operations, including wars, poisoning our water, food, air, and toxic medicines, as well as various injection programs against toxic substances. Meanwhile, Islamic mercenaries are generously paid for the capture of both the EU and the US. Trump's main task is to use the military to eliminate these traitors' cliques. Control, looting, and exploitation for the sake of wealth and power, and the state manages this secret operation using the negative principles of the dragon reptiles of the black nobility and the Vatican Jesuits. Illuminati and monarchies grouped under the name of the Khazar Group is controlled by the Nazis of the CIA and groups of the corrupt FBI. In fact, the entire system of judicial administrators, judges, lawyers, and fake courts is part of this great facade, violating the undoubted human right once upon a time given by our Creator. All religions have been trying for millennia to hide the real answers about who and what are we people really, to strengthen their control over us, to rob us, to exploit us for their own wealth and power. As if that wasn't enough, they commit heinous acts against members of our society, especially the weak and young, as clearly demonstrated by the ongoing independent investigations into Pizza GT. Bribed politicians, globalists, and financiers like Jews have been copying money management methods for decades. The Rothschild banking dynasty, an important part of this control is complete secrecy, the use of the policy of bribed politicians who serve as their puppets after childhood blackmail and are objects of public anger and activism to allow the globalist to act out of the public eye without participation with their fake money. They forcibly deprive the working class of real wealth. Fake wars begin so that trillions from the Main Street economy end up in their own pockets, having committed the largest theft in history. They lecture poor victims about the global warming, racism, and gender issues. Wealth is equal to the authorities. These hit moles are defined by names such as Illuminati insiders, depth and states of the Khazar Rothschild Group, Requiem, Clicker, the establishment, or the powerful of this world, who runs the Masonic Jewish cartels of the central bank, CIA, MI6, massive transnational corporations, law enforcement agencies, education, and the media in order to enslave humanity. The invention of the printing press allowed money to be printed, as well as their version of the Bible that led to the Enlightenment and the fall of the Roman Church. It was the moment when money could replace religion as a new control mechanism for the rich elite. Wealth equals power, constantly releasing new money that actually breaks out of the hands of the public and transferred into the hands of the international banking cartel, is the main means of oppression to create rich gods and poor souls due to the use of these secret means of oppression. The public has lost its freedom. In order to regain its freedom, people must massively break the power of the Rothschilds who, according to the colonial scenario, outlawed the honest money of the people. Banking institutions are more dangerous than standing armies, said Jefferson, and that the principal amount that descendants will pay under the name of finance is a major fraud in the future. Jefferson added this: the support of the Rothschild monetary Aristocracy for the right to spend money should be taken away from banks and returned to the society to which it rightfully belongs. Lies generate corruption. It's all one big deception from top to bottom, and everywhere in between. Lies are different at every level as a result of global corruption, such as, among other things, bribes, blackmail, murder, drug trafficking, money laundering, global arms sales, control over mind trafficking, pedophilia, and eventually even satanic ritual, blood sacrifice of young children. The energy of fear of these cruel, horrifying rituals, it is used to power very real disembodied beings who live at a different frequency level on our planet outside of our field of vision. There are up to 200 million chipped public minions in the world who are either brawl hybrids or clones or werewolves completely corrupted minions who have become the middle link in this bizarre matrix of control outside the world. They